Thank you, Kerry. Coming up next on The Beat Goes On, it's our man from Fortuna Racing Syndicates, John Galvin. This week, more success for Fortuna in Singapore and another beautiful colt from Karaka. This Darci Brahma colt is looking for new owners who will love and cherish him and watch him win many races. John Galvin.
Great to be here, Gerard.
Evening. Well, the rains came last week, John, so where were you when the rains came?
Well, funnily enough, Gerard, I've been building a new house recently for the family, and they sowed the lawn a couple of weeks ago, and because with the drought I've been having to go over and water the lawn every day, and no sprinklers, so it's a matter of using the hand hose. So I've now had a few days off as a result of the rain. It's been very good.
And of course, racing, John, last week the New Zealand Oaks, and some great results for horse racing families and owners and trainers.
Yeah, the New Zealand Oaks at Trentham, it's a time-honoured race. It's a $300,000 race for 3-year-old fillies, and it's a great race for breeders, because if you can win a race like that, it really adds a lot of value.
What else is happening in racing, John?
Well, we've just finished the Auckland Carnival, and we've had the Oaks at Trentham, and from here on in we start to move into winter racing in New Zealand. But of course, in the next few weeks we've actually got the Sydney Carnival, and so the focus for New Zealand racing is our very good horses that go over there and compete. And last weekend we had a New Zealand bred horse, New Zealand trained, ridden by New Zealand's champion jockey, now riding in Sydney, James McDonald, a horse called It's a Done Deal, won the Randwick Guineas, and he will now be one of the favourites for the big Sydney Derby to be run there in April.
What a great name, John. It's a done deal. That must, you know how you sit around, what are we going to call the new horse? Somebody came up with a great one. It's a done deal.
Funnily enough, its real name here in New Zealand is just Done Deal.
Yeah.
But there was a Australian horse with a similar name, so when it races in Australia, it races under the name It's a Done Deal.
Love it. Now, John, before we go any further, there may be viewers who have tuned in, have not been watching The Beat Goes On, and they may say to themselves, who is this John Galvin and what does he do? 60 seconds, John.
Yeah, well, John Galvin is the director of Fortuna, and we're a thoroughbred syndication company, and what we do is go to the sales and we buy yearling sales and buy really nice horses that we package up into syndicates and then sell shares in those syndicates to members of the public. And the strength of Fortuna is our team. We've got a great selection team. David Ellis, who's one of the top thoroughbred people in New Zealand, selects horses for Fortuna. Our horses are trained by Te Akau Racing. We have stables here in New Zealand. Jason Bridgman at Matamata.
And you've got 20 horses now.
23 actually. 23.
Gosh,
yeah.
John.
And Mark Walker in Singapore. So we have horses racing in Singapore as well.
John, we're talking racing tonight, and I'm one of the people that goes to the races and it's confused. Which horses gotta win? But new punters to the game, and
yes.
It's called New Zealand Racing Tips.
New Zealand Racing Tips.
But you've used it, and
I'm a subscriber. Yeah, and they provide a tipping service. It's email and web based.
Yeah.
And I latched onto them a few months ago and trialled them, and they produced some wonderful winners for me. Last weekend at Trentham, one of their tips, a horse called Ofille, Ofille, won magnificently, paid $6.40, so a great dividend.
Yeah.
And they're a great organisation. They put a lot of time and research in, and the beauty of it is that for someone who, say, wants to have a bet, doesn't have the time to do the research, can log into their service and get it's actually a daily email, but you can do it whenever there's racing days on, and get their tips for the day, their best bets for the day.
Now, John, we spoke of the fact that you've got 23 horses, but you keep them coming. You go to Karaka every year, you have the team there, and you buy these wonderful young yearlings. And of course, you've got 2 yearlings at the moment. One of them was a filly we talked about 2 weeks ago, and tonight you also bought a colt from a wonderful sire. First of all, let's talk about the sire, Darci Brahma. It's just breaking all records, isn't it?
He is. Now, Darci Brahma is a New Zealand bred horse by the champion sire Danehill out of a Zabeel mare, so he has very good pedigree.
He's got black type.
And he was a $1.1 million purchase at the 2004 Karaka sale. He was the champion 2-year-old in New Zealand, the champion 3-year-old. At age 4, he was the champion sprinter. He won a Group 1 race in Australia and 4 other Group 1 races here in New Zealand. Altogether, he won 10 times from 19 starts. He was just a superb racehorse. He went to start in 2007. He now has 3 crops racing.
Yeah.
And he's 3rd on the General Sires list, which is an amazing performance for a young stallion.
For a newcomer.
And every week he's producing quality horses that are really delivering the goods.
Now you've got two wonderful yearlings, but let's talk about the colt tonight. What was it about this particular colt that attracted David Ellis's eye?
Well, pre-sale, David said to me, the best Darci Brahma colt in the sale is lot 360 out of the mare Spin and Grin. He said he's a magnificent athlete, and I went to have a look at him, and we inspected the horse and said, wow, this is the sort of horse we want. And as well as being a magnificent athlete, as you can see from the photograph on the screen, he also has a very good pedigree. The mare Spin and Grin, that's the mother of this colt, was a very good racehorse. She won a Group 2 race at Ellerslie, the 8 Carat Classic, and ran 2nd in a very prestigious Group 1 race for fillies and mares. So this guy's got a lot of things going for him. He's an early foal, he's got size, he's got scope, he's got a lovely pedigree, and he is by this up-and-coming young sire, Darci Brahma.
We're asking our Beat Goes On audience if they'd like to participate in the ownership of this horse. We need the price. So what are we looking at price-wise with this horse?
Okay, a 10% share in the Darci Brahma Spin and Grin colt is $13,000.
$13,000, yep.
That includes all of the initial costs of acquiring the horse, insurance, all that type of thing. $6,500 for a 5% share.
Yes.
And we'll also do 2.5% shares at $3,250. And then we have some ongoing costs as well, which for a 10% share is $300 a month from April 2013.
Yep.
$150 a month for the 5% share, and $75 a month for the 2.5%.
That horse has got to eat, doesn't it?
He certainly does. He's got to be trained, and the vet's got to come along, and he's got to get on a truck to go to the races.
Now, we need a telephone number, John.
The 0800
0800
100
100
667. That's
it.
it.
Excellent.
And cell phone 021
021
921
921
460.
460.
And visit our website www.fortuna-nz.
That's a hyphen dash.
That's correct.
-nz.com.
.com.
John, we're going to see you in 2 weeks' time with some more wonderful fillies from Karaka, which are going to go on to become winners.
Exactly. Thanks. It's a pleasure, George.